Are you struggling to get your wheels off the ground and are unsure where to start or how to get better? If so, you're in the right spot. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to be going over how to bunny hop and where to get started. Bunny hops are an important skill for every style of mountain biking. Whether it's hitting large gap jumps, jumping gnarly rock sections, or even just getting over small obstacles. While bunny hops are very important and very useful skill, it can be very difficult to learn as a beginner. A common mistake I see a lot of riders make is pulling up super hard with their arms and not doing very much with their legs or their hips, and this results in not getting very much height. So while this can work, it usually ends up just having your back wheel get an inch or two off the ground and your front wheel being super high in the air, but doesn't really do anything. So real quick, let's demonstrate. They're pulling up super hard with their arms. Look at this. You can see my back wheel barely even gets off the ground. So this bunny hop does not work. Let me show you what will. In order to get as much height as possible, you don't need to be incredibly strong. You actually need to have correct form and technique. To practice this technique, I recommend getting a Garage Bunny by Ninja MTB. This tool allows you to learn bunny hops at your own pace while giving you some assistance. The best part is you don't even need to go outside. So you can practice your bunny hops all year long. The Garage Bunny tracks how high you got, and you can reset it after each jump so you can see your progress as it's happening. The first step is preloading. This is the first skill you will need to know how to do when practicing bunny hops. Preloading is when you compress your body downwards and then load the suspension, so when you release, the bike will spring back up and get some air. To do a bunny hop, the preloading requires that you do an L-shaped motion, so going down and back. And this will help you lift up your front wheel, so it'll look something like this. The reason we do an L-shaped motion instead of simply compressing downwards is because we want the front wheel to come up first, so later we can bring the back wheel up and level it out. This gives us the most height. So to do this, we don't simply compress down, because when we come up, both wheels will come up evenly. So we go down and then back, which de-weights the front wheel and lifts it up. Practice this a few times and make sure to make it all one motion. Don't look like a robot. We're not trying to go down, then back, then lift up. It's all one motion. This may take some practice, but remember, that's how you get to learn new skills. Practice. New skills don't come on the first try. The next skill you'll need to learn is back wheel lifts. Back wheel lifts will help you to understand how to get your back wheel off the ground so you're not stuck doing bunny hops like the one I showed you in the beginning of this video. To practice these back wheel lifts, grab yourself an elevated surface like a step or a stool, and preferably high enough to the height that you want to bunny hop. Then just simply place your front wheel on the step or elevated surface and start off by doing some small hops. Nothing crazy, just small hops to get that back wheel off the ground. Then once you've got those small hops, try to just make it bigger and bigger, and then eventually implementing that L-shaped motion so you can lift that front wheel up and bring the back up and level it out in the air. Something more like this. The next thing I want to talk about is toe positioning. Toe positioning is a very important skill to learn when practicing bunny hops. And it doesn't sound like much, but it's really important because if you have the wrong toe position, your feet can fall off the pedals, or you just simply won't get your back wheel up high enough. And so if I have my toe position just flat, when I try to lift that back wheel up, my feet are just gonna fall off, and it's just, there's no grip. And so to get that back wheel up in the air, you need to apply some pedal pressure and point your toes more downwards. That way you can kind of add that pedal pressure and lift that back wheel up. So something like this. bunny hop, lean back so your toes will be facing upwards to get that front wheel in the air. And then once that front wheel is in the air, you need to pop that back wheel up and push forward. So look something like this. I'll focus in on the toes. Keeping your toes in this position allows you to get extra pop because you'll actually be able to lift that back wheel off the ground. Some people call it scooping, but if you think about it too literally, you're not actually scooping the wheel up. You're just applying that pedal pressure and it's lifting up the back wheel. Once you have all these skills mastered, it's time to put it all together. So let's take a quick recap and add a few little add-ons that I think are important. So you want to compress your body down and back in an L-shaped motion. When you're doing this, your chin needs to be a little bit past the stem. So you're compressing chest down like this and leaning back and lift the front wheel up, and then you have to do back wheel lifts. So to do this, you point your toes forward and lift the back wheel up. The final step that brings all these skills together is pushing the bars forward. So once you've done your down and back motion, lifting the front wheel and lifting up the back wheel, you need to push the bars forward, and this will add all the extra force into the back and level out the bike. Hopefully this video helps and you are now a master at bunny hops. Remember that even though the bunny hop is considered a basic skill, it does take time and practice to learn, so practice every chance you get. If you're interested in getting the Garage Bunny or anything else off the Ninja MTB website, the link will be down in the description, and remember to use code TheRyanOutdoors. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.